The combat training simulator had malfunctioned at the worst possible moment. Ensign Rachel Morrison hit the ground hard, her side scraping against the jagged edge of a broken training barrier. The holographic battlefield flickered and died, revealing the stark reality of the training hall and the very real gash now decorating her ribcage. Professor Nineval, a towering SS Gathar with iridescent scales, immediately activated the emergency shutdown. Medic, we need immediate medical intervention. Rachel pushed herself up to a sitting position, pressing one hand against her side. Blood seeped between her fingers, staining her white training uniform crimson. She glanced down at the wound and winced. Ah, damn, that's gonna need stitches. The 15 alien cadets in her class had gone completely silent. Thelnox, a gaseous vreen contained in an environmental suit, actually condensed in fear. She's still conscious? Yeah. Rachel looked up, confused by the tone. Why wouldn't I be? Your pain receptors should have triggered neural shutdown. Nineval was already beside her, scanner in hand, his scales flashing distress colors. This wound penetrated 3 layers of tissue. The nerve damage alone should have rendered you unconscious. Rachel looked at the injury again, about 4 inches long, fairly deep, bleeding steadily but not spurting. It's really not that bad. Just a scratch. Just a scratch. A Quillan student named Bex Rees' fur had turned from calm blue to alarmed yellow. We can see your internal layers. That's catastrophic structural damage. It's really more of a deep cut, Rachel corrected, accepting the emergency medical kit from Professor Nineval. She began cleaning the wound with antiseptic wipes, her jaw clenching slightly at the sting, but otherwise showing no reaction. The aliens, she's treating herself, whispered Vormat, an insectoid Chitros whose antennae were vibrating with distress. She's experiencing active tissue trauma, and she's treating herself. Humans have high pain tolerance, Rachel explained, pressing gauze against the wound to slow the bleeding. We evolved as persistence hunters. Our ancestors would chase prey for hours, sometimes days, ignoring injuries and exhaustion. The ones who could push through pain survived and reproduced. That's not high pain tolerance, Thelnox said faintly. That's voluntary sensory override. That's biological insanity. The medical team arrived, led by a human medic named Jackson, who took one look at Rachel and sighed. Scale of 1 to 10. Maybe a 6? 7 when I move wrong. And you're still sitting up because lying down seems dramatic. Jackson shook his head while scanning the injury. 15 stitches, probably. You're lucky it didn't go deeper. See? Rachel gestured at the alien students. Just a scratch. Professor Nineval made a strangled sound in his throat. Ensign Morrison, in SSR medical terminology, an injury requiring 15 closure sutures is classified as severe trauma requiring immediate surgical intervention and psychological counseling. That seems excessive, Rachel said, then paused as Jackson numbed the area and began stitching. Okay, this part is genuinely uncomfortable. She describes active surgical repair as uncomfortable. Bexry noted to the student beside them. I'm updating my xenobiology thesis. Humans don't experience pain like other species. They experience it and then simply choose to ignore it. Not ignore. Rachel corrected as Jackson worked. We just have a different relationship with it. Pain is information. You acknowledge it, assess the damage. Jackson finished the last stitch and applied a synthetic skin patch. You're benched for 2 weeks. 1 week, Rachel countered. 10 days, final offer. Deal. Professor Nineval would later submit a formal request to separate human combat training from mixed-species sessions. His reasoning: human cadets display levels of injury tolerance that cause